Welcome back to High Stakes, where we help you elevate your betting strategy. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with our daily content. Looking for exclusive access to premium betting picks? Join us on Patreon. Links are available in the comments section below. Stay ahead of the game with High Stakes. Monday Night Football, the game of the century. Detroit Lions versus San Francisco 49ers. Well, at least it should be. Detroit is sitting pretty at 13-2 SU and 10-5 ATS, basically cruising to the playoffs while enjoying their life at the top of the NFC. And what better way to keep that momentum going than by demolishing the San Francisco 49ers, who've already been eliminated from playoff contention. The Niners are stumbling to the finish line with a 6-9 SU and 5-10 ATS record, and it's safe to say they won't be sending any thank you cards to their coaching staff for the season they've had. Let's talk about the Lions. Detroit just blasted the Chicago Bears 34-17 as -6.5 favorites last weekend. You know, the usual. Goff threw for 336 yards, Gibbs ran for over 100, and they put up 475 yards of offense like it was a walk in the park. Meanwhile, the Niners were too busy crumbling like stale bread to stop Miami's 29-17 onslaught. With the Niners missing their top players, minor things like offensive linemen and most of their playmakers, you got to think Detroit's offense is going to put on a clinic here. Brendan Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs are basically living the dream right now. Top 10 in the league for both passing and rushing yards, while the Lions' defense is doing its best impression of a brick wall. They've allowed only 19.9 points per game, and their defensive line is in full beast mode with 33 sacks. Gotta love when you have a defense that's better than your offense. And let's not forget about the Lions' dynamic duo of Kirby Joseph, tied for the league lead with 7 interceptions, and Jack Campbell, the linebacker that's got 116 tackles this season. Meanwhile, the 49ers are in full "we're just here for the snacks" mode. After a promising start at 5-4, they've gone 1-5 over the last 6 games. Brock Purdy is out here trying to find something resembling a functioning offense, but it's like watching a baby try to read a book. The Niners can't even run the ball properly now that Christian McCaffrey's out, and their passing game is the football equivalent of hitting a brick wall. But hey, props to Fred Warner for getting his 11 sacks. Though I'm not sure how much that's going to help when you're getting run over by a freight train like Detroit. This game feels like it could be over before halftime. Detroit's coming in hot and looking to lock up the top NFC spot, and they've got no time for San Francisco's sob story. If the Niners can keep it close, it'll be a miracle. The Lions are too solid on both sides of the ball, and I just don't see the Niners having the firepower to keep up. Prediction: Lions -3.5. Detroit's offense is flying high, while the Niners look like they're one injury away from forming a flag football team. If this one goes over, it's probably because Detroit did most of the heavy lifting. Let's be real, San Francisco's run game is about as useful as a screen door on a submarine. Take the over 50.5 points. But hey, if the Niners can somehow channel their inner 49ers of old, we might see a competitive game. That, or Detroit just puts on another scoring clinic. Take the Lions, and don't be surprised when the scoreboard looks like it's been hacked. Here's a deeper dive into the best game props for the Monday Night Football matchup between the Detroit Lions and the San Francisco 49ers. Jared Goff, over 2.5 touchdowns. Why it hits: Jared Goff has been on fire this season, sitting among the top quarterbacks in terms of passing yards and touchdowns. He threw for 336 yards and 3 touchdowns last week against Chicago, and with San Francisco's defense banged up and missing key players, Goff should be able to slice through their secondary. Detroit's offense is also built for these types of games, with Goff orchestrating a potent passing attack. Given the Niners' struggles, especially in the red zone, it wouldn't be surprising to see Goff throw for at least 3 touchdowns in a dominant performance. Key factors: Niners' secondary issues, Goff's efficiency, Detroit's high-powered offense. Jahmyr Gibbs, over 75.5 rushing yards. Why it hits: Detroit's offense has been absolutely rolling, and Gibbs has been a huge part of that. He ran for 109 yards and a touchdown last week, and with San Francisco's defense showing cracks in the run game, particularly with their injuries, it's hard to see how they stop Gibbs from racking up yards. McCaffrey's absence for the Niners also means more focus will be on stopping Detroit's offense, and Gibbs is sure to get plenty of touches. The Lions are expected to control the clock, which should lead to plenty of rushing opportunities for Gibbs. Key factors: San Francisco's depleted defense, Lions' ability to control the ball, Gibbs' breakout potential. Lions over 32.5 total points. Why it hits: the Lions' offense is currently one of the most explosive units in the league, averaging 32.9 points per game. Detroit has scored at least 42 points in 5 games this season, and their offensive balance between Goff's arm and Gibbs' running is tough for any defense to handle. San Francisco's defense, while still talented, has been struggling to keep up, especially with injuries mounting. Detroit's offense could hit 32.5 points by halftime if the Niners can't get their act together quickly. With the Niners unable to score consistently, the Lions will likely control this game and score in bunches. Key factors: Detroit's high-scoring offense, Niners' defensive struggles, Lions' ability to put up points early. Brock Purdy under 220.5 passing yards. Why it hits? Purdy has been inconsistent, especially in recent weeks, and without Christian McCaffrey, he's even more limited. The Niners have been struggling on offense, and with Detroit's strong defensive front and secondary, Purdy is likely to face heavy pressure. Detroit is ranked 7th in scoring defense and has given up only 338.9 total yards per game, making it difficult for Purdy to reach 220 passing yards. Furthermore, Purdy has only surpassed 220 yards passing once in his last 6 games, so the trend isn't in his favor. Key factors: Detroit's strong defense, Purdy's struggles, lack of offensive weapons for the Niners. Lions to score first. Why it hits? Detroit has been starting fast all season, and with the Niners reeling, they'll be out to establish control early. The Lions have scored first in multiple games this season and have the offensive tools to do so again here. San Francisco, on the other hand, has struggled to stay competitive in the first half of games. Detroit's strong offense and ability to execute early in the game give them a solid chance to score first and set the tone for what should be a dominant performance. Key factors: Lions' fast starts, Niners' slow starts, Detroit's high-scoring offense. Total sacks over 4.5. Why it hits? Detroit has 33 sacks this season, and San Francisco's offensive line has been struggling with injuries. With both teams generating pressure, it's likely we'll see several sacks in this game. Detroit's defensive front, led by players like Aiden Hutchinson, will be bringing pressure to a banged-up San Francisco line. On the flip side, the Niners will likely send pressure against Goff, who has been sacked 30 times this season. With both teams looking to make plays in the backfield, expect a high number of sacks. Key factors: both teams' ability to sack the quarterback, San Francisco's offensive line issues, Detroit's pass rush. Lions minus 3.5 first-half spread. Why it hits? Detroit has been strong out of the gate, scoring early and often, while the Niners have struggled to start games on a high note. With Detroit motivated to maintain their dominance in the NFC, they're likely to come out firing and take a commanding lead in the first half. San Francisco's defense has been giving up points early, and their offense has struggled to get going. Detroit is poised to cover this first-half spread and take control by halftime. Key factors: Lions' fast starts, Niners' first-half struggles, Detroit's offensive firepower. Total passing yards for Goff, over 300.5 yards. Why it hits? Goff has surpassed 300 yards in 5 games this season and is coming off a 336-yard performance against the Bears. San Francisco's secondary is vulnerable right now, and Goff should be able to carve them up with ease. With the Niners' defense not at full strength, Goff will have the opportunity to rack up passing yards, especially if the Lions establish an early lead and continue to push the tempo. With Goff's ability to connect with key playmakers like Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams, 300-plus yards is within reach. Key factors: Goff's high passing volume, Niners' secondary struggles, Detroit's passing attack. These expanded game props give you plenty of options to make the most of what should be a one-sided affair. Detroit is playing for a postseason bye, and the Niners are just trying to get through the season with dignity, which means Detroit's going to be hitting on all cylinders and racking up the numbers while San Francisco scrambles to keep up. Happy betting! And that's a wrap on today's video, folks. I'm sure you're absolutely on the edge of your seat, eagerly awaiting the next thrilling installment of this channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because clearly you don't want to miss any of our daily videos. I mean, who could live without them? And while you're at it, smash that notification bell, so you can be the first to know when we drop more gems like this. Oh, and if you're looking for some premium picks, because, let's be honest, who isn't? Join our Patreon. It's where the real magic happens. Premium picks, insider info, and possibly even some mildly entertaining banter. So, hit that link, and we'll see you on the inside. Until next time, enjoy the game, make those bets, and remember, you're welcome.